everybody, I'm back this week for something a little different. Have you ever thought about making your own candy? Well, I'm going to show you how to do sort of I call it my peanut caramel brittle today. It's really, really good. Okay, so what you're going to start out with is a large microwavable bowl. It needs to be this size because you're going to see why. It's going to be bubbling up here. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is get your peanuts. Now, I bought raw peanuts, but you could buy roasted peanuts or any other kind of nut that you wanted to do, really. But I'm going to show you how to do peanuts today. Okay, you're going to get a cup of your peanuts. Just dump them in your bowl there with a few extra. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put the rest of the bag in because a cup or a little more, you know. I like a little bit more in mine. Don't I always put extra stuff in? You know I do. Okay, so after you put that in, you're going to put a cup of sugar over the top of it. Yeah, it's a little much. There we go. Cup of sugar over the top of it. Put our sugar off to the side. Now you just want 1/8 of a teaspoon or pinch of salt. Doesn't really need to be a lot. I think I spilled sugar on the floor, stepping on it. Okay, now you're going to put a 1/2 cup of light corn syrup. And yes, this is where things get sticky. This stuff can be really hard to work with. So you're just going to squeeze yourself out 1/2 cup there. And now for the fun part is getting it all in there. I suggest a wooden spoon if you have one for this recipe, because you're going to have to be stirring really hot, really sticky stuff. So scrape out as best you can a little, get as much of the corn syrup in there as you can. Okay, I'm just going to set that in there because it's sticky. I'm going to put this right over in my sink. It's nice to be able to toss it in the sink, isn't it? Okay, this is why we're using a bigger bowl, because now we're going to cook it in the microwave on high for 4 minutes, and you will see it foaming up, which is why we use the bigger container. Boom, 4 minutes. Okay, and still to come, you are going to need baking soda, vanilla, and a soft butter. Because after we cook it 4 minutes, we're going to stir it, and then we're going to cook it 2 more minutes, and then we're going to put a teaspoon each of these 3 in when it's done to stir it in. And then we're going to get, let me put my corn syrup to the side, teaspoon. We're going to get your average plain cookie sheet and spray. Because when this is done, immediately, you might need oven mitts to turn your bowl. We're going to spray this down, get it out of the microwave, and we're going to pour it onto our cookie sheet. And then we're going to put it right into the fridge. I know we're doing this in the microwave, but this is a recipe that's going to have to sit overnight because we want it to harden up. And the next morning, if you've sprayed it good, you should be able to take a spatula and just be cracking it in pieces as big or small as you want off of your tray. And then you're going to want to put them in a Ziploc bag or a plastic container, it doesn't really matter. And you're going to want to keep them in the fridge, because if you keep them out in this while they're out on the counter or something, they'll probably turn soft and stick to each other in a large lump. That's why I call this my peanut caramel brittle, because it breaks into pieces real easy. Like Brittle has the great brittle taste, but when you start to eat it, it's like you've got this great caramel, this great peanut caramel. Things are starting to bubble up a little bit, but while we're waiting, I'm going to clean up after myself a little bit, because you know I like to do that. Now you can watch me try to make a mess and put my bottle of corn syrup that was low. I'm going to set it over here. Try to put it into this bottle of half full corn syrup. You just pop the lid and let it set and see if it'll, you know, in there. Well, I hope you guys had a great weekend. I've had a little case of the sniffles, but overall I'm pretty good. I feel like my Doctor Who themed t-shirt today. I actually got this one from Zebra Tees. They've got great, they actually have black and white t-shirts. They have pop culture and Doctor Who stuff, but who could resist this one? It's so adorable. Okay, we've got a minute and a half left. And you can have your wooden spoon at the ready. Careful you don't get corn syrup on yourself like I already did. And we're going to set this stuff aside because we don't need it yet. We'll get it ready when this is cooking for the last 2 minutes. Can you guys believe this is episode 54 already? I thank you guys for sticking with me. And welcome to the new ones of you who have liked me this past week. I'm excited about how many people are starting to watch my show. I know it's just this little dinky cooking in the microwave thing I do, but it's really great that you guys like it. You don't know how much I appreciate all the comments and likes and everything. It really brightens up my day. "30 seconds to go. And yeah, you'll see me on my my laptop, but it's fun. If you're anything like me, you gotta be paying attention to like 5 things at one time. Maybe next week we'll do another sweet recipe unless I have any requests. Because remember, I do take requests. I have fun trying to figure out stuff to do in the microwave that you'd like me to do. Okay. I'll get my spoon ready here. Now when you go to get this out, you're just going to touch the edges to see if you need your hot pad yet. If you don't need your hot pad, you're going to take your spoon and you're going to give it a good stir. Because now your sugar will start to coat all the peanuts. You can see, it doesn't quite look like brittle yet, I know. Don't worry, we'll get there. Now, try to clean off your spoon. And pop that back in the microwave for 2 more minutes. Yeah, sorry, my nose is itchy. Been working with animals at my job all day, so sometimes you just get cat and dog hair up your nose. But don't worry, I wash my hands before I do everything. Okay, check on. Oh yeah, we're going good. Now, if yours is not quite maybe a good runny consistency to dump, you can always do it another minute just to check on it. Because you want a good runny consistency, whereas you'll just be able to pour it on your cookie tray. Sure, you'll need your spoon, but let's coat our tray in spray here. Oh, I've got bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. I know, I'm not giggly today. I should have had coffee. I had like I had a cup of coffee and then an iced coffee for lunch, and probably is a bad idea. I've been kind of bouncing off the walls all day. You think I'd learn in the mornings? No, I don't. Is everybody excited? Okay, I couldn't help but talk about it. Is everybody excited for this weekend, the 23rd of August, premiere of Season 8 of Doctor Who? I tell you, expectations are so high. Let's see how this looks. Careful, careful. Ooh, it's nice and bubbly. So get yourself a teaspoon. You'll probably hear sizzling when you put this in. Shake over there a teaspoon of baking soda. Now you want a teaspoon of vanilla. This is probably where, like I said, you might hear some sizzle. And this is why we wanted soft butter, because we only need a teaspoon of it. So we dump that in there. Now we give it a good stir. We want it stirred up till it's nice and light colored. It's almost the same color as your raw peanuts. You'll smell the melted butter. We stir it real good because we don't want it thickening up in our bowl. You can see it's a little foamy, that's how we want it. We want it light and foamy. That's why we stir it. Okay. Now, we bring our tray over here real quick. And we just automatically, you might have to lean it on there, but we want to get this all out of the bowl as quickly as possible. Because it will start to caramel up fairly quick. Well, that's what happens when you're dealing with corn syrup. And once you've got out as much as you can from the bowl, set that aside, shut your microwave, and you want to flatten this out on your tray. Hope you can see what I'm doing. And if any holes start to fill, just kind of, you want one solid sheet, but you can see it's starting to harden up already, so I try to fill in the little holes that happened. Careful, because it is really hot. You do not really overly want to be touching it too much right now because I don't want you burning yourselves. Like I do. Try to fill in those holes. Then I'm going to take my measuring spoon here and get the peanuts off. So I want all those peanuts in our brittle. Kind of use that to fill in a hole I made. And now, hopefully you have room in your fridge. You've prepared room in your fridge. You can see we have a nice flat, woo, careful because it'll slide, sheet of peanut caramel brittle. Oh, you think I would have made room in my fridge? You want it flat because if you don't have it flat, you're going to get a piece of large, sticky piece of caramel peanut brittle all over your fridge. And through the magic of the TARDIS, we'll just say, we have a finished bag of peanut caramel brittle. And there you have a finished piece. I'll just throw it. A peanut caramel brittle. See, it crunches like a good peanut vanilla taste to it. And yes, this is how you talk when you're eating it because it's very gooey, very caramelly in your mouth. And there you have. You've made candy. You have made peanut caramel brittle. It'll be a hit at every holiday and party. Okay. Well, I'm going to finish this piece later. Because when you're eating this, sometimes it's really hard to understand you. Because it's so gooey. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next week. Share my videos. Give me some requests. Let me know. I'll see you next week. And enjoy the premiere season 8 of Doctor Who Saturday. I know me and my friends from the Geek Girl Project were having a party. Of course we have a premiere party in my house. Who wouldn't? We'll see you next week.